Okay. It is Tuesday, the regular time. It's 4 p.m. here on my Facebook page. And I got to thinking, you know what? I bet you many people have no idea what a personal development plan is, why you would have one, what it even looks like. And I thought I'd talk about it and share a little bit about what it might look like, how it might help you, why the hell you'd want to do it. But first of all, I just need to check in with you. How is your heart and soul doing? Boy, for many of my friend circle, there are many walls being hit. Just a hard time. The holidays are hard anyway. And then you add a global pandemic on top of that. And we're hearing so much come out, every additional hit of pain and suffering that someone close to you experiences just adds, even if it's not your direct experience, because you're an empathetic human being, it just adds to your stuff. And so for many people, many of my clients, many of my friend circle, it just feels like a really hard time right now. So listen, if you are feeling sad, if you are feeling like the world is just gone nutso butso and you can't deal with it, feels like the world is just heavy and too much, it's okay. You're right. It is heavy. It does feel like a lot. And I think instead of trying to shame yourself or trying to shove those emotions to the side, what I just want to encourage you to do is just feel it. In our world, in this Western culture, we are not really good about sitting with uncomfortable feelings. We want to immediately take them away. We want to shape them. We want to turn them around. We want to put some positive psychology around them, right? We want to, I think positive psychology is great, but anything overdone can become a weakness. And I think sometimes our desire to immediately push into a positive emotions and reframing things doesn't always allow people the full experience of their emotions. So if you're feeling sad or if things are really challenging, you're feeling like, as I said, times are really tough, it's okay. And what I want to encourage you to do is be able to sit with it and say, it's okay. As hard as it is, right? That's where our resilience comes in, is when we can start really feeling our full range of emotions. Not to say that we need to feel them and damage ourselves, or not to damage other people in our anger and frustration. That's where some emotional regulation and awareness comes in of what we do with the emotions. But the emotions themselves are not good or bad. They are just emotions. And sometimes we just have to feel them. And so I've talked to several clients just this week who have, like they're saying to me, oh man, I just feel sad. Yeah, that's okay. There's a reason you feel sad. You don't need to dissect all the reasons ins and outs, but what you can do is just accept the fact that you're sad. We've never been in this experience before. We've never had this kind of leadership before. And it can feel wildly uncertain. And in that place of uncertainty, as we're trying to mentally manage all of that, our ability to regulate our emotions becomes stretched and becomes so much thinner. And so you're going to feel a broader range of emotions right now. That is totally normal. And what I'm going to ask you to do is just allow yourself to feel those, not to lash out on anybody else or make anyone else, or trying to get rid of your emotions by dumping them on someone else, but just allow yourself to feel them. That is totally normal. But that's not what we're here for today. Hey, I wanted to talk about the idea of creating a personal development plan. And part of that is really becoming aware of your own areas of what you want to develop, right? So, hold on just one moment. So when we think about creating a personal development plan, one of the first things we have to do is really start creating some clarity around what we want our lives to look like. And I can't tell you how many times I talk to people, talk to clients, and what they become super clear on is the life they don't want, right? We can all usually come up with all the things we don't want to experience, the relationships we don't want to have, the jobs we don't want to have, the houses we don't want to have. But the harder work comes in when we start trying to clarify what it is that we do want. And so when we think about that, what is it that we want to start accomplishing or experience? Not even accomplishments. Let's take it out of the realm of accomplishments, but why don't we go into the realm of experiences? Like, what do you want to experience? And sometimes we think of ourselves in just one big general lump. And other ways to think about it is in different domains, right? So we've got a life experience that we can just start clarifying from there. But sometimes we can think about, what about the different areas of my life? So how about in my relationships? How about in my spirituality? How about in my career, in my family, in, there's lots of different domains we could talk about, but becoming really clear of what it is that you want to experience in those different areas of your domain or in your life in general. And I got a great exercise from Mind Valley, and it's really the 3 big questions. And the first question is doing a brain dump and really kind of brainstorming what it is you want to experience in your life, and really just creating a big long list of all the things you want to experience in your life. And the second big question that would come out of it is then, what do you need to learn? Twofolds. What do you want to learn, not related to that list of things you've created? And what is it that you need to learn in order to satisfy that first list, right? So if you said, oh, I want to have a best-selling book. Well, what is it that you need to learn? Is it time management about writing books? Is it how to publish? Is it the content of which you want to write about? So what is it that you need to learn to satisfy those things in the first column? So the first column is, again, what do you want to experience? The second column is, what do you need to learn, or what do you want to learn? And the third column is, how do you want to give back, or how do you want to contribute to the world? What is it that you want to create or contribute to the world, whether artistically, whether that's being a great parent, whether that's being a phenomenal partner, so on a very localized scale to a huge macro scale, what is it that you want to contribute to the world? And think about those things, becoming really clear on what it is you want. And I have to say, much of my work as a coach often resides in this realm, helping people become really clear on what it is that they want. And then taking a look at, once you know what it is you want, well, let's take a look at where the areas you're super strong that you know you can lean into, and what are the areas that you need to develop. Like that's the development plan. You know, I used to go and work out at a CrossFit box and another gym that really had just these super muscular people, totally focused, could, take a look at one bicep and say, oh, I need to develop this one little area. Their abs, this one little area. And I find it fascinating that many people are willing to devote so much time on developing their body. And yet we shy away from this idea of developing ourselves, how we engage with the world, how we think in the world, how our actions show up in the world. But that work, I have to say, I think has a much bigger and broader impact than just what your body is doing. So thinking about that, what you want to build up, and then taking a look at if I know what my strengths are and related to what I want out of my life, and the areas that I need to develop, again, in relation to what I want to create or experience in my life. Well, how do I develop my own personal development plan? For me, I'm a huge reader. I can't tell you how many books I've read, hundreds, hundreds of books for sure on personal development. Some were great. Some I took one nugget out. Some I didn't finish. Some I repeated over and over again, right? Because there were elements of that I wanted to take in. But there's been documentaries, there's been conversations, there's been my own coaching, there's been, events that I've gone to in the idea of continue elevation of the experience in the human that I want to be. So I have a pretty clear picture on the human I want to be, knowing that if I can evolve or continue evolving into that kind of human, then I'm going to have the experiences of that kind of human. And I have to say that human, I'm really in love with. I love that evolution of who that human is. And then lastly, this was a 4-part series of thinking about, or 4-part step in thinking of creating your own personal development plan. So the first is becoming really clear on what it is you want. Second is reviewing what your strengths are and what your areas of improvement are dependent on that. And the third is finding your resources to help you develop that. That's like finding your coaches, right? And the last is just reviewing and adapting as you go. I always consider this the experimentation phase. I love to experiment in my life because experimentation allows me not to have a set end goal, right? I get to have the experience and get the data to allow me to adjust and adjust and adjust to maybe get closer to that end goal, but I'm constantly adjusting what I do. I mean, my friends, it's December 1st. If you want to think about or have a talk about how to create your own personal development plan, I'm here for you. If you want to chat, let me know. You can always go to my website and set up a time to have a consult or have a free session with me. I'm totally open for that. I hope you have a great rest of your day, no matter where you are. And if you're having feelings, I hope you're feeling them. Bye, my friends.